Welcome to Learning Partner. So in this video we are going to see role-based authentication login in Angular. Okay, so when we say role-based, so let's say login page is there, and if user has a role, let's say user role, okay, so he should see only navigation menus which he has access to. Okay, and if user is a admin, he should see all the menus whatever the admin he should see. Okay, so there are the two approaches to achieve this. First, you can have two different components where we normally keep our navbar, so with different layout for the navbar, and when we log in based on the user, we redirect them to the particular that other component. Okay, if the second way is with using dynamic routes array. Okay, while creating route we can have role as an attribute over there, and then we can map that on a single navbar. Okay, so let's see. So I have created a basic project with version Angular 14 something. So basic is the same, it doesn't matter with the thing. So basic is the same, it doesn't matter with the Angular version. Bootstrap I have installed, then I have added that entry version. Bootstrap I have installed, then I have added that entry to the style section of angular.json. Okay, this is the initial setup. Okay, this is the initial setup. Then I have created some components in the pages folder. You can see add user, admin dashboard, some components. Let's say add user, user layout, user list, and user dashboard. These are the components which we have to show to the user role. And then admin dashboard, admin layout, employee, and roles. These are the components which we want to show to the user having admin role. Okay, so first I have to create the login component. So for login I have used this single page, the sample page I have from here. All the code I have copy pasted from here, login, and put it in the login component. So this is the login page, and then the CSS I need for that achieving that UI, and in the index.html I just need background color, so that's why I'm adding it. Okay, so now when we achieve login, as I have already covered this in another video, first what we have to do, this is an empty path. I have created all the routes for whatever the components I have. Now to make the login work, means whenever I am not logging, my login page should be visible by default, right? So for that I just need one more route which will be empty. So path will be empty, and if path is empty, I will redirect to login component. Okay, then if login is also there, again I will open the login component. Next, okay, so first we are seeing the first way with different layout for navbars. So we have two layout component. First is the admin layout, okay, and then is a user layout. Okay, so we have to create two routes where path will be empty, but component will be admin layout component, same as that. Again path will be empty, but here will be user layout component. Okay, now what are the menus we want to show to the admin layout? It will go over here as its children. Okay, children will have array of objects. Then same thing goes over here also. What are the menus we want to show to the user layout? That will go over here. Okay, so let's say add this will go over here, add user, then user dashboard and user list. These two menu go to the user layout. Okay, so these are the children of user layout component. Same as that, we need these three menus to the children of admin layout component. That's it. Okay, so as we can see, we have empty path with component user layout component, and it has three childrens. Okay, then we have a second component again with the admin layout component. It has three different component routes. Okay, so let's save. Okay, so let's save. And now next thing is, our app component should only have router outlet. So let me get rid of this. Router outlet will be there. Let's see, our login page should be visible by default. Yeah, so see, login page is default available there. Okay, now next thing is, okay, button is not visible. Let me check. Okay, let's just give some style. Some CSS might be missing. Color black. Okay, now next thing we have to add the navbars. So I will again Google for bootstrap w3. I just need the navbar. Yeah, so navbar it is. Let's copy paste this. Okay, so now we have two layout component. First is the admin layout and second is the user. So in admin layout I will paste it here, and we need router outlet again. So in that router outlet. Okay, same thing we will need in the user layout component. Okay, now we just have to add our menus. Likewise, like in user layout, we will have the menus which are supposed to be visible for the user. So that means add user. So instead of href it will be router link. Slash, let me copy paste. Next is user dashboard. Again, this menu should be visible to the user only. Then user list. Let me add the menu. Create user board. Let's make it dashboard only, and this is user list, and this is user list. Okay, so just like this we will need this router outlink in the admin layout menu also. So instead of this, we have to show the menus which we want to show in the admin. So first is admin dashboard. Here it will be admin dashboard. Then second menu is the employee. Let me just copy paste this. Employee and role. roles. Okay, so admin has access to the three roles. Roles and employees. Okay, let's do the next thing. Let's say in our local storage we have user list. Okay, so for that, or let's just hard code it some things. Let me close this. Now in the login page we have to create the object to bind it. So login object colon any equal to curly bracket, it will be user name colon empty, then password colon empty. Okay, so this is our object. Now we have to bind this to our form. So for that we have to use ng model directive. That will go over here. Login object dot our property name username. Okay, so now we will get the error because we haven't included forms model in my app model. So let's just do that. Let me show you the error what we get. See, I cannot bind ng model since it is known property of input. So we have to bind forms module first in the app model. Then only it will what we can say identify what is ng model forms model. Okay, if I save this, you can see error is gone. Okay, now since this form is inside the form tag, so we have to add name attribute also. Again we will get error. It can be anything, just try to prepare the property name, then password over here. Okay, so now we have binded object, then we have to create an event. Click event, it will be on login will be my function name which I will be calling. Okay, now I have to create this, the login component. Okay, so in normal case we will make our API call over here, but since it's just a demo, so we will just write static code login object dot username equal to, let's say user 123 is my username and password, second condition, password will be user @123. this is the case, then we have to redirect to user dashboard. Again, second condition, same will be for the admin login also. Okay, so if username is admin and the password is admin@123. Okay, so here what we'll do, if user has provided user123 and password is user123, so password is user123, so we know that user is having the user role, and if credentials as admin and the admin@123, we know that it is going to be the admin role. Okay, now from first if condition we have to redirect to the user menu, so that will be, let's go to the app routing module.ts. So either we can redirect to the admin dashboard. Okay, so to redirect from the component.ts, we have to create instance of our router, private router : router. Okay, we have created the service injection of the router. Then here this dot router dot navigate by URL, and we have to pass our route name, that is user dashboard. Same thing if user is admin, so we have to navigate to the role admin dash, path name is admin dash, so it will go over here. Okay, so let's save all and test it. Okay, if I say, let's me just copy paste, if user123 is there and password is user@123, on login, see where it go in the user dashboard, and menus we are able to see is user dashboard, dashboard and user list. Okay, let's try to go back. Now I will provide admin over here and admin@123 as a password, so it will know, it will execute this line. Okay, so you can see different menus. So this is how the first way what we discuss, like admin, these components are visible over here. Okay, you can see. Okay, you can see, since it is having background color black, so it is, you can see here. Okay, here. Okay, then dashboard. Okay, then dashboard. Okay, so this is how we achieve the first way. Next is we can create an array of routes. Okay, so now let me create one more component which we will use to create the common one. Generate component, let's home layout. Okay, so I'm creating one more component where I will be keeping my navbar. Okay, and based on the role we will make that navbar dynamic. Okay, so now we have to store some value. If in local storage dot set item, let's say role. If we are in this if condition, we have to store user role. Okay, same way if we are in the admin, we have to store role as an admin. Okay, now we are starting with the second way. So if user is having a user role, we have stored role in the local storage, otherwise admin. Okay, Now we will use our navbar in the home. Okay, now this is static thing, right? We just have to make this thing dynamic. Instead of this static thing, right? We just have to make this thing dynamic. Instead of this static thing, we just have to make it dynamic. Instead of this static thing, we just have to make it dynamic. Instead of this static thing, we just have to make it dynamic. Okay, so for that it dynamic. Okay, so for that we have to create route. Okay, so for that we have to create routes array. So in home component I will create route array, routes colon any square bracket and square bracket. Okay, so it is going to be the array of object. So let's just copy paste the array we had. Okay, now if you can see, these two paths where path was empty and admin component was there, and second was for user. Now we need the same one more. Okay, where we will have all the menus. So this was first two was for the first way. Okay, so now you can see here, instead of home user layout, we will use our home layout. Okay, so for home layout we had all the children's. Okay, now we will just use this path. I'm just copy pasting this object and put it over here. Now instead of component, so this is my path, then we have to show the text. So instead of component I will make it text. That what we have to display, right? Text colon. Okay, now here it will go add user, and we will need role also, role colon user. So this object will be of, let me get rid of this. Okay, so we are creating array of object where path. Okay, so we are creating array of object where path will be there, that will be our route name, text object where path will be there, that will be our route name, text what I have to display, and role. Like this use and role. Like this path is for the user role. Okay, same like this. Let me just copy paste. Okay, user list, and it is dashboard. Okay, next thing is for admins. Now instead of user it will be admin. Board. Let me copy paste. Okay, again it will be employee. Okay, then this is for roles. Okay, so we have Okay, so we have an array of object where one property is there, that is role. So we can filter this, right? So while login, let me just close this. While login, we are storing something in the local storage, right? So when we redirect to somewhere, okay, now when we are redirecting, let me just copy this control. I will just comment it because this is way one. Let me write it down, way one. Now we need way two. Okay, so now it will be, now we just have to change the URL somehow, because you can see same menu is over here also, so router will get confused. So we should have different names. So instead of it, create user, I will paste it here, or let it be just way two. I will add to all the menus, so it will be something unique. Okay, so now same I have to add it over. Okay, so now same I have to add it over here also, because we have used the same name over here also, because we have used the same name. Way two, 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 way two. Okay, so in app, okay, so in app routing, the third so in app routing, the third component, where home component is my parent component, where I have used different path name starting with way 2. Okay, so when I say the login, I have to redirect it to somewhere. Okay, so that we can depend. If it is admin, so we have to route on this user dashboard. Okay, so when user dashboard. Okay, so when we, so if it is user, so we have to redirect to the way to user dashboard, way to user dashboard. And if it is admin, so we have to use way to admin. Okay, so let's check. Now in home layout, I don't have anything currently. Let's just see like where it does login or not. Login, it is all back. Let's check the error. Okay, so it was just a compilation issue, I had to just restart. Okay, so let's just try to log in with user first. User detail password is user @123. On login, so you can see we have logged in, we have redirected to the admin dashboard. Okay, now we just have to print, what we can say, make our routes dynamic. Okay, so in local storage, we have stored the value. Let's check it. Okay, role is the key. So now in home component, we have to read that. Constant role is equal to local storage dot get item to read the value from the local storage, and in single quote we have to pass the key. Okay, so we have read the string. Then we have to we will create one more variable, user routes colon any square bracket is equal to square bracket. Okay, now we have to store the current whatever the user role has been there, we have to just filter from this total routes array. Okay, so this dot user routes is equal to this dot routes array dot filter. Okay, then route colon any is equal to curly bracket route dot. Okay, route dot, which property we have to check? For the role is equal to whatever the role we have in the local storage. Okay, now here I will get the roles matching with the particular role logged in. Now this I have to use with ng for over here, star ng for let route of this. Okay, now instead of this static text I have to do curly brace, I have to do curly braces okay, then route dot, since it is object, so we have to use path. Okay, and this should be dynamic. So we have stored a route dot text, I think. Yeah, so in text we have that. Okay, so let's check it now. So first we will try to log in with admin. Then admin@123 as a password. Okay, so you can see admin dashboard, employee and role. These are the roles which should be visible for the admin. Okay, now if we go back and again log in with user and user password. Yeah, so you can see add user, user dashboard, user list. So these are the two ways by which we can achieve role based authentication. Okay, either we can create an array and filter it out based on the role, otherwise we can create a separate component to hold our navbar and load that component like that. Okay, so guys, please do subscribe and like. I will be pushing this code to the repository, which I will be sharing in the video description. Please do spread the videos if you are finding it helpful. Thank you.